What is brain? The brain, weighing about 3 pounds in the average adult, is a marvel of nature, controlling every aspect of our being, from thought and emotion to movement and sensation. Together, the brain and spinal cord that extends from it make up the central nervous system, or CNS. Let's delve deeper into this complex organ. Weighing about 3 pounds in the average adult, the brain is about 60% fat. The remaining 40% is a combination of water, protein, carbohydrates, and salts. The brain itself is not a muscle. It contains blood vessels and nerves, including neurons and glial cells. Gray matter, found on the outer surface of the brain, consists of neuron cell bodies and is responsible for processing and interpreting information. White matter, located beneath the gray matter, consists mainly of axons coated in myelin, facilitating communication between different parts of the nervous system. The different composition of neuron parts is why the two appear as separate shades on certain scans. Cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, responsible for initiating and coordinating movement, regulating temperature, and facilitating various cognitive functions such as speech, judgment, and problem solving. Divided into two hemispheres, each controlling the opposite side of the body and communicating through the corpus callosum. Brainstem. The brainstem connects the cerebrum with the spinal cord. The brainstem includes the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla, each playing a vital role in different physiological processes. The midbrain, or mesencephalon, is a very complex structure with a range of different neuron clusters. These features facilitate various functions, from hearing and movement to calculating responses and environmental changes. The pons is the origin for 4 of the 12 cranial nerves, which enable a range of activities such as tear production, chewing, blinking, focusing vision, balance, hearing, and facial expression. At the bottom of the brainstem, the medulla is where the brain meets the spinal cord. The medulla is essential to survival. The medulla produces reflexive activities such as sneezing, vomiting, coughing, and swallowing. Cerebellum. The cerebellum is a fist-sized portion of the brain located at the back of the head, below the cerebrum. The cerebellum coordinates voluntary muscle movements and maintains posture and balance. New studies are exploring the cerebellum's roles in thought, emotions, and social behavior, as well as its possible involvement in addiction, autism, and schizophrenia. The brain is protected by 3 layers of meninges, which provide support and cushioning. These layers include the dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. Each hemisphere of the brain contains 4 lobes, each with specific functions. Frontal lobe, involved in personality, decision-making, and movement. Parietal lobe, responsible for object recognition, spatial awareness, and sensory processing. Occipital lobe, processes visual information. Temporal lobe, plays a role in memory, language, and auditory processing. Deeper structures within the brain. Various structures within the brain, such as the pituitary gland, hypothalamus, amygdala, and hippocampus, regulate hormonal balance, emotion, memory, and other complex functions. 2 sets of blood vessels supply blood and oxygen to the brain: the vertebral arteries and the carotid arteries. The external carotid arteries extend up the sides of your neck and are where you can feel your pulse when you touch the area with your fingertips. The internal carotid arteries branch into the skull and circulate blood to the front part of the brain. The vertebral arteries follow the spinal column into the skull, where they join together at the brainstem and form the basilar artery, which supplies blood to the rear portions of the brain. The circle of Willis, a loop of blood vessels near the bottom of the brain that connects major arteries, circulates blood from the front of the brain to the back and helps the arterial systems communicate with one another. Inside the cranium, or the dome of the skull, there are 12 nerves, called cranial nerves. They emerge from the brainstem, facilitating sensory and motor functions, including vision, hearing, and facial movements. The first 2 nerves originate in the cerebrum, and the remaining 10 cranial nerves emerge from the brainstem. Cranial nerve 1 The first is the olfactory nerve, which allows for your sense of smell. Cranial nerve 2. The optic nerve governs eyesight. Cranial nerve 3. The oculomotor nerve controls pupil response and other motions of the eye. Cranial nerve 4. The trochlear nerve controls muscles in the eye. Cranial nerve 5. The trigeminal nerve is the largest and most complex of the cranial nerves, with both sensory and motor function. Cranial nerve 6. The abducens nerve innervates some of the muscles in the eye. Cranial nerve 7. The facial nerve supports face movement, taste, glandular and other functions. Cranial nerve 8. The vestibulocochlear nerve facilitates balance and hearing. Cranial nerve 9. The glossopharyngeal nerve allows taste, ear and throat movement and has many more functions. Cranial nerve 10. The vagus nerve allows sensation around the ear and controls motor activity in the heart, throat and digestive system. Cranial nerve 11. The accessory nerve innervates specific muscles in the head, neck and shoulder. Cranial nerve 12. The hypoglossal nerve supplies motor activity to the tongue. The brain, with its intricate architecture and diverse functions, remains one of the most fascinating subjects of scientific inquiry. Understanding its complexities provides insights into our behavior, cognition, and overall well-being.